Like, I'm like perfectly highlighted. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Adrienne Monique, and today I'm coming to you with a new video on how to do a smooth and even foundation, a smooth and flawless foundation. And I feel like having a smooth, flawless base is very important. I mean, you can have this bomb-ass eye look, and if your base is trash, it ruins the whole look, honestly. For the time that I've been doing my makeup, I've just discovered some tricks and tips and some things that I do to make my foundation basically look flawless and smooth and even, and yeah, so yeah, I'm excited. Excited to do this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to see how I get a smooth foundation base, then stay tuned. Alright, so we are just going to goodness gracious. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get into it. I have a set amount of steps. Step 1 is water. Yes, drink your water, girl. Drink a water, girl. Drinking water is key. I know that when I'm not drinking enough water and I'm drinking too much pop, or pretty much soda, yeah, mostly soda. If I'm drinking too much Sprite, my face does tend to let me know. Yeah, being hydrated just kind of helps your skin just get that nice inner glow, that nice smoothness that you want to look for, on top of also having a regular and consistent skincare routine. I know also when I have a skincare routine, and when I'm not consistent with it and I'm like, you know, I get lazy with it, my skin be like, hold up now, pop 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 pop, like you slacking, girl, you slacking, girl. The thing that I think is very important when you're trying to have a smooth and flawless foundation is your utensils that you use, like your brushes, your sponges. Make sure that they're good quality, and they actually blend out your makeup the way that you want. I have my foundation brush and my sponges. I have a foundation brush and 2 of the sponges that I really like to use. Yes, my foundation brush is dirty, but I don't know about the rest of y'all. With my sponges, a lot of times when my utensils get dirty, that's when they work the best. Sue me. First product that I'm going to use, obviously, for my smooth foundation is a primer. You want to make sure that you have a good primer. You want to make sure that it is actually good for your skin tone, not your skin tone. You want to make sure that the primer that you're using is compatible with your skin type. Ladies with dry skin, normal skin, oily skin, combo skin. You just want to make sure that you're looking at your primers when you're buying them, what they actually do. For me, I have oily combo skin. I'm pretty much oily right here in my T-zone, and pretty much normal to dry in like the colder months, on the around, like in the perimeter, like the perimeter of my face. So to be honest with you, I really only prime the center, like my T-zone, because that's the part that really needs to be primed. All the rest of this, it holds up just fine. Well, the primer that I like to use for my skin is the No Poreblem primer. And I love this primer. This has been my favorite. This is probably like my second or third bottle that I've went through. It lasts a good minute, and it's not really that expensive. You know, I think it's about $15 to $18 depending on where you go. But I just love this primer. It's like, first of all, it's smoothing, so it smooths your pores, and also I guess the formula has something in it to where it soaks up the sebum, the excess sebum that your skin produces, and that's obviously oil. Sebum is oil, and so it just basically does everything in one. Like, it smooths and it mattifies, but it's not drying, and I love this. So okay, so the next thing is obviously foundation. And when you are trying to have a smooth foundation, you just want something that is also compatible with your skin. You have oily combo skin, you probably want to get something that is on the mattifying side. For me, yes, whether it's I prefer matte foundations in the summer, winter, and fall, and spring, all the seasons. Occasionally, I'll dibble and dabble into some Radiant foundations because they tend to work on my skin too. more so in the colder months. But since it's summertime in Texas, well, it's springtime, but it's hot, so in Texas as usual, so it's summer. I like to use something mattifying with coverage, but not exactly full coverage. I'm not really a full coverage everyday type of girl. I will use full coverage foundations, but I really do like foundations that are more on the lighter side. For me, I feel like it does my skin justice. My favorite foundation that I love to use is the Loreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear. I love this foundation. I feel like this beats out some other like luxury foundations. Like, this is just such a nice foundation. Lightweight, it still gives me coverage, it evens out my skin tone, but it's not cakey, it's not too thick, and it feels breathable, which is also what they advertise as well. It's a very medium buildable coverage foundation that is very breathable, and that is what I love for my skin. I think I'm running out of this. I think I need to get some more, but I like to just apply some like so and spread it around. Then I'm going to take my dirty foundation brush, don't judge me, and I'm just going to pat that in. You want to just kind of pat your foundation in, and you want to move down. If you move up, you have like hairs on your face, and so that can also disrupt the smoothness of your application. Just go down because you're laying the hairs down as well, and just kind of just pat that in like so. Okay, so you guys see, it's just, I love this foundation. It evens out. It's not bad coverage at all. It's buildable, so if you want to put on another layer to kind of make it more so full coverage, you can do that. I like to go with one coat. I feel like one coat basically takes care of it for me, so yeah. But yes, also a very important thing when you are choosing your foundations and your concealers, like your face products, make sure that you're getting the right shade. Just test out your shades, make sure that you're getting the right undertone, because if you get the wrong undertone, you might have the right shade, but if you have the wrong undertone, you can still look casket ready, you can still look gray, you can still look too orange, and sometimes it can look a little bit too dark if it's the wrong undertone, and that kind of disrupts obviously how your foundation looks, and it may give you texture that you don't really have. I use a website called Foundation. I'll link it below, and that usually helps me. It's not completely 100% accurate, but it is very, very helpful when you're looking for other shades, like your shade in other foundations. You put in your shade that you wear in one specific foundation, it kind of formulates what you would be in another foundation, and it's been very, very helpful for me, especially when I do online shopping for my makeup products. So yes, shades, very, very important. So now what we're going to go into, now that I have my foundation on, oh, also please make sure when you're putting on your foundation that you go down into this area. Just blend it out. Blend it out. Blending is very, very important. You almost kind of get away with a shade being a little bit too light if you blend it into your neck appropriate. Now this is a great shade. I love this shade. I'm in 510 Hazelnut, and it's a great shade for me. But if you do have some shade that might be all blending it down into the neck, might help you, girl. All right, next thing that we're going to go into is concealer, and I usually like to go in with a concealer that's more full coverage and more on the thicker side. That's what I like to use for my concealers. And the one that I have been loving, the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I love this concealer. It's very full coverage. I love the consistency of it. I love that it blends out beautifully. And I am in the shade Warm Sand. I don't like to just put a glop just one area. I like to spread it out because that also helps with blending, and if you already have it spread out, just help for a more seamless blend. It goes a long way. Like I can get away with ooh, fix that in a little bit, like just dabbing this back in 1 to 2 times and it's good. I love to use my Sonia Kashuk sponge to blend out my concealer, but I got this sponge, it's from Hank and Henry. It's like the mini, it's obviously a foundation sponge. I get like a regular size and a mini size. I love the mini size because I can actually get into the crevices and stuff like that, especially when I already have like an eye makeup look, like an eye look already done. Like this helps me keep my concealer neat and not kind of going all in onto my eyelid if I don't want to. But I love this, and it gives like this nice blend. I also learned this trick from one of my favorite YouTubers, Alyssa Ashley, where she goes like back and forth underneath her eyes when she's blending out, so one eye isn't, I guess, more brighter than the other. Alright, so that is blended out, as you guys can see. I'm like subtle, it's like a subtle highlight, you know. I usually like to do this when I'm like, you know, just going to work or something. But when I'm trying to be all, you know, like extra, I like to go in with a little bit of a lighter shade of concealer. The reason why I do this is because I feel like, for me, when I started doing this trick, it just seemed like it was just more of a seamless blend. Like you had your foundation, you had the couple of shades lighter, a few shades lighter of concealer that you're putting down to conceal and, like, you know, slightly highlight. And you want to go lighter, it's like this nice little gradient effect. You have like light. I'm gonna show y'all. Next concealer that I'm going to use now is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic concealer, the shade 16. Now I've already did a review on this concealer. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I actually did not like it. It's true, I don't like it by itself, but when I layer this on top of my Too Faced Born This Way concealer, it looks beautiful. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it, and this is the thing, you really don't need a lot. This is where you kind of get away with just dabbing it, but I'll just go into the areas that I want to highlight a little bit brighter. Oh, that's too much, but we're gonna fix that. Okay guys, as you can see, it's like bomb. Like, oh, you can see where it's brighter and it gets just, it's like this nice it's like this nice gradient effect. And I didn't even have to use that much concealer because I've already laid down some, and it's not cakey. I also like laying this concealer over my other concealer because this one obviously is a thinner consistency, which is the reason why I did not like it by itself. But when it's layered on top of a thicker concealer, it's like perfect. Like, oof, I love it. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna go into is cream contouring. Now I used to just do powder contouring, and when I discovered cream contour, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is bomb. Like, I love this. Using cream contour for me is like just a natural, it looks a lot more natural. I'm using cream products, I just see it as kind of like painting onto your face, and wet paint obviously blends into each other a lot better than dry paint, if that makes sense. Well, dry paint doesn't blend with each other at all. So that's why I like using cream products on my face, because it's like I can blend them in together. So it's just like this beautiful seamless blend using your cream products, and then you go in with your powder to then set everything into place. I just like doing cream contour because it just creates like the skin-like natural shadow on your face, and it just looks beautiful. So the cream contour, I like to use two different things: the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the color Coco. I like to also use the Juvia's Place Stick Foundation in Zambia. Actually, I've been leaning towards using this one more than the other one. Now, I love this, but I have just a little bit more control with this one because it's just in stick form. So we're just gonna go in with this one today. And I like to just get over my forehead, like so. Love how pigmented this is. You don't really need a lot to contour. And I just love how like flawlessly that blends out. Like, that's just so easy. Like, I didn't even have to work that hard. The next step that I want to do is, now that we got our cream products pretty much on, we want to go into setting our face. I feel like having a nice setting powder is very important when you want to have a smooth and flawless foundation. You want something that's going to be smoothing it. In some cases, if that's what you want it to be brightening as well, so it doesn't tone down all the work that you did when you were highlighting. And you want something that's not going to give like this nasty cast. It's not going to be too drying. And yeah, two that I have really been feeling is my Beauty Bakerie Flour Setting Powder. Yes. And the color Oat. It's basically a translucent powder. And then also I got this in one of my BoxyCharm boxes as well, and it's called the Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. It's also translucent. I love these two powders. Today I'm actually going to be using my Beauty Bakerie powder because that's what I've been kind of going towards, reaching for when I put this on. Go in with my little mini sponge and make sure that I blend it out some. I naturally have creases just all over, like on top of my eye, under my eye. I just naturally have creases, so I just like to make sure that those are fully blended out before I actually decide to put the powder on. Tap it on. Blow. I tap the excess off on my hand, and then bada bing, bada boom. If I put too much, my face still looks good even after I like brush it off. Like, this is just bomb. And I can actually let this powder sit, like when I'm doing everything else. You gonna see. Okay, and so now I'm gonna go in with powder, contour, basically setting my contour and bronzing up. And what I love to use is, you guys already know, my black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, girl. I also like to dip into both shades, and I just go in and I brush up. Because I remember I used to brush down and it would bring down my face. So I just like to brush up. I love using warm colors to like contour and bronze anyways, because I don't know, I just feel like I like to bring warmth to my face more so than just like strictly trying to contour. Like I feel like I bring the warmth and it's cute. Then I'm going to take another brush and I'm just going to sweep off all that excess powder. Look at that, it's just so smooth, and like I'm looking at my monitor right now, but like and it's just gonna melt even more into your skin once I put the setting spray on. Like just Then the next step that I am actually going to do is do my eyebrows. Now, I used to do my eyebrows first. Like I used to be so gung-ho on like doing my brows first. I was like, that's the most important thing. It frames your face, blah, blah, blah. But with my new skincare routine, I was putting on a lot of moisturizers and serums and then my primer, and it can kind of get a little slippery. So I like to use eyebrow pencils to fill in my eyebrows and stuff, and it became a little bit difficult trying to fill my eyebrows in when my skin was still slippery from everything. So I looked at Alyssa Ashley and she does hers. I love Alyssa Ashley. She's like the mother of complexion, but she did her brows later, and I was just like, okay, well maybe I'll try and see. My skin basically had some grip to it, like it was dry, so now I can actually fill in my brows, and it has worked out for me so far, and I actually really like doing it this way. So yes, thanks Alyssa. I'm gonna basically finish up the rest of my face and like come back. Yeah, I'm just gonna come back. Okay guys, so I am pretty much back from doing my face. I really didn't do much. I just put on blush, mascara, inner corner highlight, and lip liner and lip gloss. She is cute, we looking good, but we're not done just yet. To set my face now. So the first thing that I honestly do to set my face is spray my face with the Mario Badescu spray. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. It is dirty because it has been heavily used. And I just like to spray my face with this first because it kind of gives like that layer of hydration that your makeup needs. If it might be just a little bit too dry or whatever, it just gives that first layer of hydration, and it kind of just melts everything else in. And then I go in, well, let's just do that first. Let's just do this first. But there we go. Honestly, I like to just sometimes use just the Mario Badescu spray and call it a day because it'd be looking cute. A fan brush, I'm gonna go into a highlighter. Highlight can also make your face it just gives it that extra I'm gonna actually go in my Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. And what is it? Molten Gold. Over those cheeks. Look at that. Look at that. Yes, girl. Use this same thing. I've used this same highlighter on my inner corner highlight as well. Now I'm going to actually go into my setting spray, and I like to use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And voila! All done. I'm just going to again fan. That is pretty much it, guys. This is pretty much, I guess, like a updated foundation routine and what I truly like to use. And I just, yes, I love my foundation routine now. It's just, It's the bee's knees, guys. It's just so smooth. Everything blends in just effortlessly together. It has a nice cohesiveness to it. Like, I am in love with this routine. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for some more content. And yeah, happy belated Mother's Day to you guys. And have a blessed rest of your day, rest of your month, all that. Bye.